What's up, y'all? It's your boy Jay Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment, and we about to get into this week's boxing talk. Over the past weekend, we had two-time Olympic gold medal winner and also the WBO featherweight champion, Vasyl Lomachenko, make his return to the HBO big stage when he put on a beautiful boxing display against a guy that was basically a stay-busy fight against a tough Mexican fighter that was very game but overmatched. I mean, Lomachenko put on a beautiful display of footwork, hand speed, and boxing skills. The way he moves in that ring and his precision, the way he just takes apart his opponents is just a thing of beauty to watch. Lomachenko is one of the best and future stars in boxing today, and he is absolutely one of the greatest amateur fighters in the history of the sport. And he basically stopped his man with beautiful body punching in the 10th round when he just put on that excellent body shot, placed it in the right moment at the right time, and this man went down and the fight was all over. Lomachenko is definitely one of the biggest stars in boxing today, and he is a future world champion in multiple divisions. I see this guy going a very long way. He's young, he's 27 years old, and there's fights out there to be made, but his promoter in Bob Arum, I think, is holding him back. I mean, there's really nobody in Bob Arum's stable that could really give him a challenge and put up a big fight that we want to see. The fight that the fans want to see is the super fight between Guillermo. Guillermo is also one of the greatest amateurs of all time, also a two-time Olympic gold medal winner, and he is the 122-pound king of the division that held the junior featherweight titles of the WBO and the WBA, which just recently stripped him of his titles, which is a damn shame that that happened, because this man is truly an outstanding fighter. I know he hasn't been active, but this is a fight that should be made. He's a free agent. Bob Arum is hesitant to make this fight because of the fact that HBO does not want to put money into this fight. But in 2016, there will be a new head president of HBO Sports that's going to be running the show, and I hope that these guys are willing to invest into this fight right here, because it is a truly super fight between the super featherweight champion of the world and the featherweight champion of the world. These guys are the best in their divisions of 122 pounds and 126 pounds. They could fight at a catch weight. Rigondeaux can move up. I mean, this is a great fight matchup to be made. Both guys are very quick. Both guys are very skilled with beautiful footwork. And I think Rigondeaux has a little bit more punching power than Lomachenko. But Lomachenko is younger. He's a definite outstanding fighter. They never got to fight in the amateurs, and I think I give the edge to Rigondeaux. I like Rigondeaux because he has a little bit more power. He's an excellent body puncher as well, and he's also quick, but he's getting up there in age, and the inactivity is going to definitely hurt him as he gets older and he's not staying busy. Lomachenko could probably get a victory win over Rigondeaux because of that inactivity and because of that age creeping up on him. He needs to stay active. I like Rigondeaux. I think Rigondeaux can definitely beat Lomachenko, but as long as he stays out, the inactivity and the age is going to affect him in the long run if this fight is not made right now. This fight needs to be made in 2016, and Rigondeaux needs to get into the ring before the year is over, 2015, and get some ring rust off and get into the gym and prepare for a big fight. I know Top Rank is trying to get Nonito Donaire to fight Lomachenko. Now that fight right there, it's an interesting fight. I mean, Donaire hasn't looked good. He's been fighting guys that are basically weak opposition to look good, to build his confidence and everything, but he hasn't looked spectacular in years. He's a talented fighter, but I think he's lost his desire. He's talking about that he's focused now and he's concentrating on his boxing, and he's 100% ready to take on Lomachenko. And it's a nice fight, and I like the fight, but I believe Lomachenko could take on Donaire right now and beat him. You know, so that's a fight that Top Rank is really trying to make right now at this stage. But, you know, if it happens, it happens. I have Lomachenko definitely beating Donaire, but the fight that the fans want to see is the Rigondeaux fight. That's the fight right now that needs to happen. Rigondeaux needs to get his stuff in, and he needs to start working, fighting more, and I say he could beat Lomachenko, but if he continues to be this way and he gets that Lomachenko fight, Lomachenko could take him at this stage right now. Now, also in the main event that night, we saw Timothy Bradley, Desert Storm. I've been a big fan of his since the Showbox generation days, and I saw when he went to England to win his first world title, the WBC junior welterweight title at 140 pounds, when he knocked out, he knocked down Junior Witter in that fight, and he won a decision to become a world champion, and I've been a fan since then. And, you know, Timothy Bradley, he changed trainers. You know, I was kind of skeptical with Teddy Atlas, even though Teddy Atlas is a great trainer. But, you know, I just wanted to see how it would work between these two if Timothy Bradley would actually listen to Teddy Atlas. And I got to say, I was impressed because of the fact, you know, we all know that Timothy Bradley has great footwork. We all know that he's fast. We all know that he has boxing skills. We all know that he has a jab as well. We all know that he has a great heart and a very good chin. He gets knocked down, he gets back up. This guy has tremendous heart. We knew that about Timothy Bradley when he was with Joel Diaz. You know, nothing has changed. The only thing that I saw in Teddy Atlas that day was to keep Bradley focused in that corner. Every time he went back to his old ways and he wanted to stand in the middle of Brandon Rios and slug with Brandon Rios, you know, he went back to that corner and Teddy Atlas got him right back into the game plan of boxing, moving, showing angles and everything. He pumped his jab a little bit more than usual, and it was a good jab. You know, Bradley looked pretty strong at the weight at 147. He's definitely a 147-pound welterweight. You know, 154 pounds he was on fight night, but he's not a junior middleweight. He's small. He doesn't belong against the Canelo Alvarez like they're talking about. They're saying that, you know, that's a fight that's possible against him and Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is way too big for Timothy Bradley. Canelo Alvarez will beat Timothy Bradley. I don't care about Timothy Bradley's skills. You know, I'm a big fan of Timothy Bradley. He's a great fighter. He doesn't have the punching power to deal with those big boys at junior middleweight, 154 pounds. You know, he's an excellent welterweight. I believe he's the very best welterweight today right now. He is the #1 welterweight in my book. You know, I had Floyd Mayweather as the #1 welterweight, Manny Pacquiao as the #2 welterweight, and Timothy Bradley as the #3 welterweight in the world. Guys like Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Amir Khan, I don't think those guys could beat Timothy Bradley, you know, and that's unfortunate that the politics of boxing prevents those fights from happening. You know, right now I'm hoping and praying that Timothy Bradley stays busy in 2016, and I believe his contract is up in 2016 with Top Rank and Bob Arum, and I hope that he becomes a free agent the way Miguel Cotto was a free agent for a while, and he was able to venture off and make those big fights, you know, because that's the only way that I see Timothy Bradley fighting any of those guys that belong to Al Heyman. You know, right now, there's nobody else. They're talking about the Manny Pacquiao fight, the third fight. I don't want to hear that. You know, Bob Arum is trying to sell it. He's trying to sell Teddy Atlas versus, you know, Freddie Roach. He's trying to sell that they're 1-1 and this is the third fight, a rubber match. You know, we all know that Timothy Bradley won basically a total of 5 rounds out of 24 rounds. Timothy Bradley cannot beat Manny Pacquiao. A lot of people are writing Manny Pacquiao off. He had one bad fight against Floyd Mayweather. Everyone has a bad fight against Floyd Mayweather. Manny Pacquiao is funny. He was the #2 or #1 in many people's eyes, you know, about 8 months ago. And now that he got beat by Floyd Mayweather so easily, he's been written off the face of the earth. I mean, he got knocked out by Marquez and nobody written him off. You know, he was able to come back, get a couple of wins, and they still thought he was #2, at least, at best, #2 against Floyd Mayweather. And now that he got beat against Floyd Mayweather, they're writing him off. They got Andre Ward, they got Chocolito Gonzalez, they got Sergey Kovalev, they got Triple G. Everybody ahead of this man. Timothy Bradley, everyone ahead of this man. Manny Pacquiao is still one of the very best welterweights in the world. I still believe he could beat Timothy Bradley easily. And I believe he could beat a lot of the welterweights like Keith Thurman and all of them. I do not want to see Pacquiao versus Bradley 3. I want to see Pacquiao against Crawford or Pacquiao against Khan. Those are better fights. I still believe Pacquiao is the best. out there in the welterweight division, but he has one more fight left, and then he's gone from the sport of boxing. Timothy Bradley is taking over the welterweight division as the #1 guy, period. He still has a career ahead of him, definitely a lot more fights ahead of him, and this marriage right now with Teddy Atlas, keeping him focused, keeping him from going back to his old ways of slugging and just boxing and being a thinker in there. I think Timothy Bradley can extend his career with Teddy Atlas in this relationship. You know, we all know that he does the same things. He hasn't changed anything, but keeping him focused. You know, that speech in the corner about we firemen was so funny, but this man keeps his guys motivated, and we need a lot of motivated trainers like that in boxing today to keep it real. You know, guys like Emmanuel Stewart, Angelo Dundee, and, you know, I got to put, you know, Teddy Atlas up there as a guy that is one of the greatest motivational speakers when it comes to being in that corner for boxing, because he tell it how it is, and his fighters listen and they stay on the game plan, and that's what Timothy Bradley just did. You know, so a great win for Timothy Bradley. You know, I hope to see big things in store for him. You know, hopefully a Kell Brook fight is out there for him to be made, a unification match. And I just want to thank everybody for keep watching me. You know, subscribe to this YouTube channel right here. This is Jay Calderon Boxing Talk. You know, I'm going to try to put out more and more videos. You know, subscribe to YouTube. You know, subscribe to this channel right here, because I'm keeping it real with the boxing. You know, I try to give you the facts. I give you my opinions. I'm not trying to be biased. You know, I love a lot of boxing fans. There's some guys that are out there that, you know, just doing their thing. I respect everybody in the boxing world. And, you know, follow me on Instagram, and also join that Facebook boxing group page. You know, we're trying to keep it respectful out there with everybody. You know, so subscribe to the channel. I'm Jay Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support.